Hey everyone, today is a big day for my little champ Oliver. He's learning to ride his bike without training wheels for the very first time. Stick around to see the wobbles, the determination, and the amazing moment he takes off on his own. The Wobbly Bicycle Adventure. One sunny Saturday morning in the small, cheerful town of Willowbrook, 6-year-old Oliver stood in his backyard staring at his brand-new red bicycle. It sparkled in the sunlight, its training wheels freshly removed. Oliver's dad, Mr. Bennett, crouched beside him, tightening the helmet straps under his chin. "Ready, champ?" Mr. Bennett asked with an encouraging smile. Oliver looked at the bike, then back at his dad. "What if I fall?" he asked nervously. "Falling is part of learning," his dad said, patting him on the shoulder. "But I'll be right here to catch you if you do." Taking a deep breath, Oliver nodded. He climbed onto the seat, his feet wobbling as they searched for the pedals. Mr. Bennett held the back of the bike steady. "All right, buddy. Keep your eyes ahead and your hands on the handlebars. Remember, just keep pedaling," his dad instructed. "Okay," Oliver said, gripping the handlebars tightly. He pressed his feet to the pedals, and the bike wobbled forward. For a moment, it felt like flying, but then the front wheel veered to the side, and the bike began to tip. "Whoa, Dad!" Oliver squealed. Mr. Bennett quickly grabbed the seat, steadying him. "You're okay, Ollie. Try again," he said, his voice calm and reassuring. Oliver sighed but nodded. He tried again. This time, the bike wobbled a little less. Slowly, he began to pedal, and for a brief, magical moment, he was riding on his own, his face lit up like the morning sun. "Dad, look, I'm doing it!" he shouted. "You're doing great, Ollie. Keep going." Mr. Bennett cheered, jogging alongside him. But just as Oliver started to feel confident, he accidentally turned the handlebars too sharply. The bike tipped, and he tumbled onto the grass with a small thud. "Ow!" Oliver muttered, sitting up and rubbing his knee. Tears welled in his eyes. Mr. Bennett crouched beside him. "Are you hurt?" Oliver shook his head. "Not really, but I'll never get it right," he said, his voice wobbling like the bike. Mr. Bennett smiled gently. "Ollie, do you know how I learned to ride a bike?" Oliver sniffled. "How?" "The same way you're learning. I fell a lot, but every time I got back up, I got a little better. And eventually, I could ride without thinking about it," he said. "You just have to keep trying. Falling doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're getting closer to success." Oliver thought about it, then nodded. "Okay, one more try." "That's my boy," Mr. Bennett said, helping him back onto the bike. This time, Oliver felt different. He was still nervous, but he was determined. He started pedaling again, and the bike wobbled, but he kept going. His dad let go of the seat, but Oliver didn't notice. He was too focused on the path ahead. "Dad, I'm riding! I'm really riding!" Oliver shouted, his voice filled with joy. Mr. Bennett clapped his hands and laughed. "You're doing it, Ollie. Keep going." Oliver rode all the way to the end of the yard before stopping and hopping off the bike. His heart was racing, and his cheeks were red, but he was grinning from ear to ear. "I did it, Dad. I really did it," he said, running back to his father. Mr. Bennett scooped him up in a big hug. "I'm so proud of you, champ. See what happens when you keep trying?" Oliver nodded. "Yeah, I'm glad I didn't give up." From that day on, Oliver rode his bike every chance he got. And every time he sped down the street, wind rushing past his face, he'd remember the wobbly beginnings and the dad who never let him give up. Together, they proved that with a little courage and a lot of practice, even the wobbliest bike rides could lead to the greatest adventures. Don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. Until next time, bye-bye.